Okay, good. And on that note, let's talk to an eminently more sensible man. It's time to get out the bean cans and string for another interview. This time we've been talking to none other than Nathan Drake himself. He's best known, obviously, as the voice of Uncharted, but actor Nolan North can also be heard in Assassin's Creed 2, the new Army of Two game, the most recent Prince of Persia game. So I called up the man himself in LA and asked him what it's like to be exposed like a Polaroid on the sun. So we're here today talking with Nolan North, the voice of Nathan Drake, this year's best reviewed and probably going to be best-selling PlayStation 3 game. Nolan, you're in so many games. Do you ever worry about being overexposed?
Well, not really. I think for a number of games, I do change my voice, and even if I don't, I mean, it's the animator's job to to make the characters look different. I mean, nobody gets tired of seeing Brad Pitt in different movies. Nobody gets tired of seeing Tom Hanks, even though he's not changing his physical appearance or most certainly his voice. So I would hope people wouldn't get tired of hearing me, especially, like I said before, when the animators can make the characters look so very different and have different personalities.
I mean, from the perspective of kind of because obviously you open a film with a known actor, they're used to make an immediate impact at the box office. Can you imagine a day when video games are doing the same, and on the cover of a box it will say underneath the title starring Nolan North? Or
oh God, I could only hope. You know what? I a lot of people have asked me things along that line, but it's really the game companies that make these games. It's these animators, it's these sound guys, and this isn't false humility. But as an actor, we're an integral part, but so is everybody else, and it's a real. Whereas, Tom Cruise's name may sell a film because he did so well in these other films. It really comes down to the animation company. If Naughty Dog and Sony have made a wonderful thing with Uncharted. They've just done a great job. And just like, games like Infinity Ward's Call of Duty, it was wonderful. And, it was the overall performances in it. I've just been very fortunate that, people have taken to Nathan Drake specifically.
Sure.
I really, a lot of this business is more more luck than talent. So, I would love that they want to pay me more money because my name sells a game and, hip hip hooray. But, in the long run, I'm just happy that we get to make these games and get such recognition for them.
And of course, you've worked alongside Emily Rose, who plays Elena now in 2 games. Yes. How do you get such good performances out of each other? Because I'd say that's one of the key reasons Uncharted stands out in terms of the acting side of things, is the chemistry between you two.
Well, Emily is her own actor. I mean, Emily is phenomenal at what she does. And, she came like fresh out of grad school, and she was actually helping us cast the part. I mean, I'm sure this has been documented, but she was helping. She actually was the reader at my audition to be Nathan Drake. And as time went on, they were auditioning people. She would be the reader for the people auditioning to be Elena. And as it went on, people just, Amy Hennig and Gordon just finally said, she's nailing it. This should be the person who does it. And that's how that came to be. Now, she was a close friend and almost a protege of Gordon. They worked together when she was at UCLA grad, and she had a very immediate comfort level with him, and that comfort came out in her performance, and it made everyone at ease, and my performance kind of gelled with hers, and that's just kismet. That's just luck that we had good chemistry and we had fun together. She's a sweetheart, and we had a good time together, and we had a good rapport with our director, and the writing's there, and everything just sort of fell into place. I wish I could tell you there was a magic formula, but we just kind of lucked out.
Going back to the Uncharted 2 script, would you say that, I certainly feel like it was a step up from a lot of kind of video game scripts. Did you feel that when it came through? Did it seem different to the stuff you normally get sent?
Yeah, it's a different beast. It's just, and I think that's why it's been received so well. And I'm not putting down other games. I mean, other games have to do what they have to do, but so much of this whole game is based around a story, whereas a lot of other games seem to base their story around a game. And I think that's the key to Uncharted. It's like if you took your favorite movie and because the script is good and the performances are good, and then you said, okay, how do we make this a game? It almost seems like they've done it the opposite way. And I'm very proud of myself for that quote, because I just thought of that, and that really seems to really I'm not always able to articulate into words how I feel about something, but that really could be the key. The story is central, and the game evolves out of that story.
You are, I mean, gradually now becoming quite a high-profile figure, certainly amongst PlayStation 3 gamers. Have you been recognised yet out from the Nathan Drake stuff? Has anyone gone, hey, you're the voice of Nathan Drake, just while you've been in the
actually,
store?
Well, actually at a GameStop one time, I was buying my son something, a Nintendo DS game or something like that, and I'm just talking to him, and I'm asking the guy about it, and he's just giving me this funny look, and I don't know. I thought maybe he was just high or something. And then finally he's just, I go to pay for it, and I give him my credit card, and he kind of snatches it out of my hand. And he looks at my credit card, and he goes, I knew it! And everybody in the store, he's just a teenager. He's jumping around. I go, what? He goes, you're Nathan Drake. You're the guy who does Nathan Drake. And people are walking over, and he goes, this is the guy from Uncharted, Drake's Fortune. And next thing I know, there's people with their camera phones and these gamers, and they're taking pictures. And I was like, wow, I'm glad you guys got it. I remember he ran over and he pulled two of the new ones off, two Uncharted Drake's Fortunes off the shelf. He said, will you sign this for me? I'll pay for it later. And actually two other people bought the game there because the guy they asked me to sign their game. And of course my 8-year-old was looking at me like, what is going on?
I mean, is there like an A-list for voiceover artists? Like, have you got some kind of rivals that you're going for the same kind of gigs with?
There's no rivalry, and the voiceover stuff is people have been just fantastic. Everybody, we're actually a very close knit group. I think Robin Atkin Downs, who's a very good friend of mine, who was Navarro in the first Uncharted, and he did all the mocap for Tenzin in Uncharted Among Thieves, and Robin and I have a friendly. It's not a rivalry. It's just a friendly game that we play. Like who's in what? He's the lead in Saboteur. He did an amazing job in Saboteur. And then if you look at the credits, I did so many of the ancillary characters in Saboteur. I'm Le Crochet, the hook. I took a different